leads to some other consequences. So
Indeed,
that's why
indeed,
I'm giving some time.
indeed, indeed. That's why I always recommend new PhD students that I mean, after few years of PhD, they should already figure it out that to continue in this path, or they should also at least know that what are the options after PhD, because it's not a straight path that you do BSc, MSc, PhD, postdoc, and then become professor. No, there are many plethora of opportunity after PhD. So you should
Exactly,
also look
exactly.
for that, because uh, if you look on this statistics, then you will see that only one, or at least maximum is like 5% people get into academia to become professor. Let's say if there are 100 people doing PhD, then only 5 to 10 people end up becoming a professor at
So
the end.
apart from opportunities, there are a lot of struggle also, so people do, I personally recommend people to do not rush in choosing career, because once you choose it, it's like a loop. You cannot go out of the loop in between.
Indeed.
So you must give yourself some time, and you have to figure out what are the good, what are the bad things, what are the struggle you have to go through, and what is your target. Apart from the target, there are, like, you have what is your particular interest in that field.
Interest.
So
That's
I
the
just
most
learned
important thing.
exactly. I just learned that thing in my PhD. Like I have done too much, rush in doing my PhD research, and like I have chosen NGS or another thing. So I stuck somewhere in between. So I thought that at some point of time, I was like, I have to leave this or continue with it. So I have done a lot of other meetings with my supervisor, and she was encouraging me to do, particularly you will get a lot of postdoc opportunities in this field. NGS and all these are new in India, and you will get a good opportunities in foreign universities. So I struggled with my life with new techniques and new options. Then I have managed to complete all those things, and therefore I particularly tell people that you do not have to rush it. Slow down.
No, not
Life
at
is
all.
there. Like, it will take almost 4 to 5 months to figure out what is good for
Yes.
you.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's really nice that you have taken a separate time. It's wonderful, because then you can, as you also pointed out, that interest, which is very important. So
Exactly.
first figure it out
Indeed.
within that time period, that, okay, what is your interest? And if you can continue for longer period. So if you're interested in particular, let's say, area or something, then you will not care about, let's say, money or anything, because when you will be interested, money will automatically be there,
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
you will work towards enhancing your skills in that particular area. And once you have set of skills, that's what you require, whether it is academia or industry. So always first have an interest, then try to enhance your skill sets.
Exactly. When people ask me, do I have to do the research, or am I go in this field or in that field? And I just tell them, what is your interest? What is your field of study? And what is your particular interest in that? So sometimes, scholars do that if their guide has some projects or some other, something, some you know techniques in their mind, and they just tell that you have to work on this technique and you have to work in this field or that field, and I have some projects and extra, but when you get some particular interest in that field, you will acquire the skill with the,
Yes.
in certain point of time. Every one of us need to acquire some kind of skill. We do not have that skill from our, like from BSc, MSc.
No,
So
no.
after,
I mean,
yeah,
you won't be an expert from starting, but you try to
exactly,
become an expert in particular.
exactly,
So what you need is, like, out of interest as well, that you are also, let's say, if you want to end up in research, then most important thing is you are curious, and you ask questions. Why?
exactly,
Why certain things, or how it is happening? If you're asking these questions, then automatically you will be more interested, and you will be curious to find out more, and that will like
You
enhance your
know,
research.
that makes your research question some, and what we can say that is, if you are asking question, if you have curiosity to, dissect that problem, then your research question becomes so abstractive, and you have to
Yes,
work on that.
indeed, indeed, indeed. Yeah. Then you will be not lost when you're asking right questions. I mean,
Exactly,
first, there
exactly.
isn't any right or wrong question. First is whether you're
Yeah,
asking question.
exactly. Every question have their own, value. Some people say that this is such a silly question, but at some point of time, it's not silly. You have to ask the questions. Either it is, some easy or some tough question. It doesn't matter. Depend on the expertise of that people. When you ask questions and learn new things, it will enhance your capacity to think
Yeah,
more.
true, true, true,
So,
true.
how's your research going on?
Uh, yeah, it's going not that I would say fast, but still going at the end
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm at the finished line. So it's like kind of dragging. It's not going now. It's just
Research
crawling.
is never a straight path. It's like up and downs
Always,
everywhere.
always, always.
In research, if you go after PhD and postdoc, there is ups and downs. There's a lot of struggle in that.
Yeah,
But if you get some a good field of interest, if you have get your particular field of interest, then you will get some, after getting some point of time, you will get interesting things. You will in I have some friends, they said that I have research on cancer and I'm intriguing to do more on that particular pathway or that particular gene. So yeah, if we do some research on that particular field, then we get a lot of more interest in
yeah,
that particular gene or gene of interest or that particular pathway. Like that, if we uh, at that time I have read a lot of research paper. So some paper seems to be so interesting,
mhm,
but due to our lack of knowledge or lack of expertise, we feel that this is such a simple paper. When
mhm.
we read that the paper from nature, they have almost 2 to 3 pages sometimes,
Yeah,
like, but they are published in natures
yeah.
because the
Because it's all about
field.
the idea and quality of research. That
Exactly,
so
exactly.
if you
It's
have
the idea
yeah,
that how we dissect that idea or that pathway. And in recently the Nobel Prize in medicines have got, I forgot that, no, last year, in CRISPR, because
yeah,
a
no,
lot of paper has been published on CRISPR in a lot of
mhm,
journals. But that particular person who have research on CRISPR for the very first time, how they think about that particular gene, how they that was their interest and that was their idea. That's what we have to
I
think in
mean,
different directions in
it it
research.
it doesn't come immediately when you are in research. It comes after certain period of time because when you do research, you think in different directions. See, everything is interesting and nothing is interesting. So you have to find certain thing that okay, what is interesting as well as in which direction you want to go because research is like kind of yeah, how to say kind of treasure, so everything is interesting for you but you have to decide where you want to go because when you will
Exactly.
narrow down then only you can find something interesting or let's say kind of ground breaking research you can do.
Exactly. Sometime, when we do research, we will, fall in a loop. We will not find, an exact
Yeah.
results. At that time, most of the student or most of the research scholars get, bored, or what we can say, they have despondent on that thing. But it's what we have to, encourage ourselves on that particular
Yeah.
time. So we have to encourage ourselves when we get bad results, because in science, when you have no result, it's also a result,
Yes,
because
yes, yes.
negative results have some interesting, some interesting paths or some interesting findings can drawn from the negative result also.
I'm really
Like when
happy
I
that you pointed out this, because I always say that even negative results are results, because the main thing is you did some research. If it is
exactly,
not fitting your hypothesis, that means, let's say, if you get negative result, you can also sell that to other people, that okay, so that people are aware that okay, going in this direction is like kind of dead end. So
exactly,
so it's also a
exactly.
nice thing. Yeah.
Yeah, even when I was doing PCR at my in my PhD time, I was like, I have never get a good result at the starting.
Mhm.
So I was being so, despondent, or what I can say, I was so, feeling I was so low. I was felt so low at that time. Then I discussed with my supervisor, and she said that it's okay. It's just normal in
Yeah.
research. You will get negative results. Sometimes you will not get even a result. Even
Yeah.
there is no. Sometimes you will not get even the primer dimer also. You will not get that. You will find a plain gel,
Yeah.
but that's also a result. You have done the research,
Yeah.
and you will get to know that at this temperature or at this particular uh, amount, how was your result. That's also a result. You have to note down that also.
Yeah, yeah, that's the troubleshoot. I mean, you do, let's say certain things fails, then you try to find out that what went wrong. If something went wrong, what you can improve next time. And that's why, I mean, before starting like this collaborative session, I mentioned that it's always good to discuss with your senior PhDs, postdoc, or your supervisor if something fails.
Exactly.
Yeah, or even if you have good result, then go and discuss that okay, you got this result. Now what next? In which direction you can go?
Exactly. That's why in research it's always a collaborative things. Some people find that if I get this result and I'm only the boss. That's not like that in research, because research is all about collaborations. If you connect with your seniors, if you connect with your postdocs or past PhD students, that people give an insightful things
Yeah.
about your research, about your results, and how. And one important thing I have to point out this here is, it's not only all about research. When you done your research, when you done your complete work, you have to publish that. In science, we generally, some people do the lab wide research always every time, but they have failed to publish that data. And
Okay, some technical issues, I guess. I don't know from my end or Ali's end. Okay, then quickly I will just have a look to the comments. So I saw a question from Khurshid. Yeah. So recently got PhD in India, but after visiting, um, I'm not satisfied with the research environment and department behaviors. That's why I'm actively applying in some European countries. It's good. If you're not satisfied, then yeah, I would say wait for that, because as I said, that PhD is a long journey, and you have to thrive in a nice environment, and you have to enhance your skills what you already have, rather than just kind of being in toxic or not that good environment. So take your time, look for nice labs, do your research, and then yeah, keep applying. You will find your dream lab, research lab. Okay, 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 okay. So, mm, Kishan is saying, Piyush, my roommate is big fan of you, and recently he joined PhD in Aachen. So one day, if we can meet you there, that would be great. Yeah, sure. Aachen. Yeah, if I will, let's say, visit or go somewhere nearby Aachen, then I will just post, and yeah, we can always meet. And I always tell people that whenever I'm in some city or somewhere, then I'm always open to have a conversation over coffee or a small meetup. So whenever I, let's say, go to India, I also do kind of this small meetups in different cities. Even let's say if I have 15-20 minutes, then I just do a small meetup, because it's good to meet people and to discuss different, let's say, point of view on things. For example, right now Ali joined, and yeah, we talked about nice things. So I will save this session. Actually, it was nice. A random session turns out to be sometimes very insightful, not only for everyone but for also for me as well, to have these kind of discussions. So that's why I always invite people that if you can join and we can discuss something. um, okay, so I don't see any particular question here. MS data science admission के बारे में बताइए. MS data science, I would say IIT मद्रास का ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. Dodana's lab. There, yeah. Yes, that's the lab for CRISPR. You're right. Okay, many people are joining and leaving. And then can you explain your journey? My journey, uh, I did my bachelor's in 2015, master's in 2017 in microbiology, bachelor's in biotechnology. Then I was working as a junior research fellow in SGPGI Lucknow. Then as a young professional, which is also kind of junior research fellow in NBFGR, which is a National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resource in Lucknow. And then I went for a research internship in Hungary, in University of Szeged, where Professor Katlin was there, who won Nobel Prize last year in for her mRNA vaccine research. And yeah, then I came to Germany for PhD in 2019, and still trying to finish my PhD. Yeah, but things are going good. Hopefully, I will finish. You are my motivation, Bhaiya. Thanks for your motivating videos. Keep posting. Thank you very much for this comment. Yeah, I will try to post as much as I can. Sometimes, yeah, I also don't get motivation to post or time for for posting. But yeah, these days I'm trying to be a little bit more active, not with the screen time, but at least with the content I provide. It's kind of mixed. Sometimes it's informative, sometimes it's more like funny kind of content. So it's very mixed. So on my page, it's not a very dedicated page, as it says that it's about PhD journey, as well as sharing the advices for getting PhD position, as well as surviving your PhD. So it contains everything. That means from funny content to informative content to some random content. Great session. Thank you very much. I'm a PhD scholar. Can you tell the foreign exchange program there? Yeah, actually, I posted a kind of informative post which had a list of visiting fellowships in Germany. So you can apply for these visiting fellowship. First, you have to find a host lab and then apply for these fellowships. Okay, so I don't see Ali now. So we'll end this session. I will save this session so you can watch this session if you whenever you want. And I hope there are some insightful details. There was actually not only for me but also for Olivia. Okay. Ali is again joining. So let's join maybe for a few minutes and then we'll end up this session. Hello, sir. I need one advice. Yes, sure. Go ahead. जिंदगी के
Dr.
मजे.
Piyush, I'm extremely sorry. I'm extremely sorry. I got
It's
some call
okay.
and
I mean, there are
lost
some glitch
internet was
from
slow.
in Instagram. It's always the case. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, so we can answer some questions of the people in comment section. Can we?
Yeah. Sure. That's what I was doing with in this meantime. Uh, so I was just going
Okay.
through the comment. I answered some of the question.
So I'm not getting any question right now. Which college are you studying? These are some sample questions I have. We have. So you can answer this question, Dr. Piyush.
Uh, who has question?
Which
You.
college you are? Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. In which institute?
Okay. So it's University of Freiburg in Germany, in South Germany.
I'm a fresher at PhD. I need help with how to start writing reviews. Can you please help?
For review, actually, you have to read a lot of research articles and then to find out that what has been already done and what's still missing and what can be done. So these three prospects you have to consider, and based on that you write a summary. A review article is nothing but
Exactly.
summary, but in summary you have to provide these details.
I think she's asking about review of literature, and in that also you have to read a lot of research papers, and you have to figure out your research ideas, and you have to read about that particular topic only, and you have to, it's important to read the abstract of each and every paper related to your research.
Yeah.
When you didn't get any, crux of the research of the entire paper in that abstract, you have to read the result and discussions, and you have to importantly read the conclusion. And in
Yeah.
conclusion, they have drawn what has been did and what you have to see or look for in your future research.
Yeah.
That's very important. The future prospect is always important in research because somebody has done that work in that field, and you have to work on that which have not been done in some previous article or some people who are there.
And there is always a loophole in any research paper, so you have to find that and to come up with some solution that what can be done, because research is not always perfect or 100%, so there is still some missing part which you can provide with this future prospect ideas, and it will only happen when you
Exactly.
have background knowledge, when you have read a lot of.
And even in science field, in the field of science, with emerging new technologies and new techniques, some old research which have very not a good result, you have to enhance that result also in your research.
Yeah.
So somebody, if that singer sequencing and some other research, other techniques like other sequencing techniques, but after that you have to check that with high throughput sequencing, and you have to do that with NGS sequencing or most emerging new techniques also. You have to use that in your particular research at this moment.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay, so then there is another question from Selma. She's asking, how can I get internship there or in other country? So you can reach out to professors for internship. That's the one option. Other option is there are many internship programs. So you have to search. Let's say I have a nice post and I have pinned that post in my profile grid. You will find internship in Europe, and you will find all these internship options within Europe. So you can apply for that. So first you have to look for a requirement, because different internship program have different requirements. So if you fulfill that, then yeah, proceed with the application process. See my question in the question box. Okay. How to choose research area in PhD? and how to write a research proposal. So as I said, you have to read a lot of paper, and then you have
Exactly.
to find out whether I can work on this particular topic for several years. If yes, then that's your research topic. If it is very interesting for you, and then with that research topic, when you will read a lot in that particular area, you will also find out, as we just pointed out, that what has been already done, what is still missing, and what can be done. So if you know these three things, you can propose a research, and that's how you can write a research proposal. That's the kind of crux of any research proposal.
I want to add something on this. Like, first of all, if you are doing research or if you are intent to do a research, you have to, choose a field which is your particular
Yeah,
interest, which you have some interest in that field.
true.
So there are a lot of, topics. There are a lot of research areas in science or particularly in biology.
Yeah,
There are a lot of genes you have to work. There are still from 100%, there are only 30 to 40% work has been done only. 70% workers who are there. You have to research that. But before choosing any topic, before choosing any field, you have to look for your
yeah,
interest. If you are particularly interested in genetics, if you have particular interest in molecular biology, then you have to do research in that particular area. But some people, if you do not have interest in molecular field, then you have to look what is your interest. Then you will get a good insight in that area, and you will get much more interest in doing research in that particular field.
yeah.
So that's very important. If you do not have interest in, molecular biology, but your guide suggests you to do some work in a particular field, and you will feel bored, and you will not
And
be able to do that research in
you will
a
get
very
frustrated
lucid manner.
after a certain amount of time. You will get frustrated with that, because if you're not
Exactly.
interested, you will not do that work that efficiently. That will, let's say, end up having failed experiments or so, and then you will get a lot of frustration. So that's why.
Failed experiments are there every time. In research, there you
Yes,
will
yes.
get 4 to 500 times. You will not get a single result. If you do the same experiment, you have to do the same experiment for number of times. But if that particular area is not of your interest, then you will get frustrated. Your quality of that research will degrade with time, and your energy will exhaust in that particular time.
Yeah,
But if you have interest in that particular field, if you didn't get a good result today, then again tomorrow you will do the same research with high, with enthusiasm, with the full of energy. That's what the
yeah.
interest is.
Okay. In your country, are you able to download the latest research paper using Sci-Hub? No. In Germany, it's yeah, restricted. But yeah, mostly universities, they have subscription. For example, University of Freiburg, we have like a kind of subscription for many journals. So sometimes it's easy, but only in university. So I cannot like download from my home computer. So I have to do it in my lab. Can you help with nano solution? I don't have expertise or any that much of knowledge in nanoscience. So Hershey is asking, I have just completed my master's. Could you suggest any topic that I can pick for my PhD project? So again, we just discussed about this. It's all about you. So you have to figure it out whether what is interesting for you. We someone, let's say me or Ali or your potential supervisor cannot tell you that okay, this is the topic you have to work. Yes, you can start working, but after particular let's say certain amount of time, you will get bored, and then frustration. Of course, frustration is there in PhD a lot of times, but you have to minimize that. And how you can minimize? When you are much more interested in that particular area. So first, sit in a quiet room, try to figure it out that okay, what is best area for you, and then yeah, continue.
In your masters, you have entirely read the whole syllabus in your
Yeah,
masters, and in that master syllabus, you have to pick only a single topic for
yeah.
research.
And let's say if you are still in dilemma whether I should go in cancer biology or in immune biology or something else, then what I recommend is to do internship. Let's say if you're in dilemma, then do internship in different labs, and then you will figure it out. Because when you will jump into real research, then you will see that okay, whether this is very interesting for me or that one, and then you can decide. Right now, let's say if you're at a master stage, you might be having this dilemma because you are not that much exposed to different areas. So doing internship, it's beneficial. Why? Because you will enhance your research skills. It will give you idea whether this particular area is good for you or not. As well as if you work in that lab, if they like your work, they will offer you a PhD. If not, then you will get a recommendation from that professor if you'll apply to another lab, because recommendation later is also important, not only for PhD position but also for postdoc or if you go for job. So it's always good to have more references or recommendation.
Even if you're doing internship, then you will get exposure to that lab also.
Yes,
So
yes, yeah,
it's very important. It's very important. In the first 6 months, you will like if you kept, if the supervisor kept you from 9 to 5 p.m., you will feel like bored. But when you get, adjusted in that, you will stay till 9, 10, 11, and 12.
yeah,
Sometime you will, end up your entire day and night in that lab.
indeed, yeah. Then you will not see time. You will just
Yeah.
enjoy the environment and experiments.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So Yasmin is asking, or Jasmine is asking, hi Piyush, I want to ask that I'm getting a PhD in Germany, but the contract is 50%. Is it sufficient to survive? Yes, it is sufficient to survive, but it also depends in which city, because 50% contract means, as I said, that salary range will be around from 1300 euro to 1500 euro. And I mean, you can just kind of assume that 40 to 50% of this salary will go in your rent, because rent is quite high in Germany in most of the cities. Yes, you can find some shared apartment, but yeah, in shared apartments, being a PhD students, it might be a little bit difficult. So it's always good to maybe, if you're a person who wants a quiet and nice environment, then yeah, you have to take a single room apartment, which will be expensive. But yeah, you can manage to survive. It's more than enough for survival. And don't convert it in your currency. Yeah. So because there is a thing which you have to consider, that the salary what you're getting is based on expenses in this country or in this city. And if you convert it into your currency, it might look, oh, it's a lot.
I'm getting a huge bonus. You have to go through partial parity index
Yes,
first, the living standard of that particular city.
yes, yes. Piyush Bhaiya, how to always stay motivated? Please share some tips, because you are always motivated. No, Khurshid is asking how does. No, Khurshid, I'm not always motivated, and I post this on my stories as well, that I'm less motivated or not motivated at all. And it's okay in PhD, because it's always like a wave which goes up and down.
Yes,
Motivation is never
yes,
like in exponential or a
a
straight line.
straight line.
It's always a wave of, when you will be super motivated, sometime you will not be motivated. But what you should consider during your PhD or research life is to be consistent towards your goal. If you're consistently working, regard doesn't matter how motivated you are, then I think you will be successful. It will be little late and more frustrations or hurdles will be there, but you will be successful one day. So
Exactly.
be
It
consistent.
depends. It depends on the work also. If you know, if you have done a lot of work in your lab, sometimes you get motivated by yourself.
Yeah.
Like I have done this much work and I have reached this target today. If you know, sometimes if you get good results also, you will feel like motivated. Oh, I have done this and I will do that in
Yeah.
future also. So you have some expectation by on yourself that I will do that in future. I can do that in future. So sometimes you will get demotivated also if you get continue negative result for 1 week or for some time for 15 days also you will get negative result by altering your research 3 to 4 or 5 times but you will not get result and you will get demotivated but at that particular time you get some good results in the moment and you will feel like oh finally I have done this and from tomorrow I will start something new on that topic or in that field.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I recommend one more thing, at least to minimize this level of motivation thing, that to write a gratitude journal. So let's say sometime you get nice result, just print out that result. Let's say if you get nice Western blot or very good PCR, print it and just paste it on your desk, or maybe just bring it at your home and put it in maybe in a gratitude journal, that okay, today I made this experiment and this was successful, and it looks very wonderful. Like these bands are very nice. So just
Yes,
write few
that's
words.
such a good
Yeah.
idea.
And let's say if someday if you fail in certain experiment, then just go back to this. That okay, yeah, I have done this. Then I can do better as well. So it's just a part of your research life. Sometimes there is failure and you have to deal with that. And how you will deal when you will have this thing, that okay, I have done in past, and with this not always having the positive attitude, but at least thinking little bit positively, that I have done, I can do as well. Nothing is impossible.
Exactly, nothing is impossible. But sometime you will get demotivated by the comments of the reviewer
Yeah,
also. When you submit your
that is different thing.
manuscript and
Yeah, that is
you
different thing.
passionately waiting for the reviewer comments, and sometimes the comments are so bad. Like you will feel like, oh, what I have done. This is not for me. But when you start, reading between the lines of that comment, your research actually improve from
Yeah,
that also. Basically, the reviewer two comments are, so harsh.
I mean, they have to be a little bit critical, because
Yeah,
it is going into international scientific environment, and many people will take it as a kind of background study. So you have to see it as a critically. I mean, because different people have different point of view on particular
exactly.
things, and so I think, I mean, we have to take a little bit positively as well. For sure they are sometimes harsh comment on the research, but yeah, it's the part of the process.
Yeah, it's a part of process, and I suggest all the, my junior PhD scholars that, harsh comment from reviewer, from your supervisors, from your seniors that are just very, very, very normal for, PhD scholars in research. Even when you go for postdoc and if you are completing your PhD degree, even your guide will call you and say that, oh, this is something wrong. What you have done?
Yeah, I
This
mean,
is very normal.
failure and all these things are part of life, as I said, and but the most important thing is how you are dealing with this. And,
Exactly.
and
It's
yeah,
always your reaction, how you react to that, comments or
yeah,
that particular.
yeah,
That's your reaction, and it becomes, sometimes it becomes a road or habit in research, like this your research like that. So you
yeah,
have to positively, respond to all that question. You don't have to react. You have to
yeah,
respond in a very good manner.
true. So, and I have another option which contract is 75%, but QS ranking is 750. Where the QS ranking of the university, which is getting 50% contract, is 450 QS ranking. Which one should I choose? So, for this one, I've commented a couple of times, and again, I would like to point out that QS ranking or any world ranking of university doesn't matter. What matters is your supervisor, whether your supervisor has good quality of research as well as frequent publications. So that's what you should consider, because once you finish your PhD, no one will look from where you did your PhD. So what people will look is what kind of research paper you have published, whether it has quality research or not. So that's mainly the important thing rather than ranking. For sure, sometime it matters in some countries or some institutes, but not always. So first thing you should look, if you have two options, compare about the supervisor as well as compare about the lab environment, because there you have to invest 3 to 4 years, even 5 to 6 years. So you want a nice environment where you can learn and enjoy your PhD life rather than being frustrated all the time. So choose wisely. Okay, so okay, thank you. And any other question?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Adar, everyone. We have to, conclude the live session, I think.
Yeah, because I have to continue with my presentation. I just
All the best for
randomly
your
started
presentation.
this live session because I was getting bored with the presentation slides and everything. So I thought let's talk to
So
people and then
it's
get back to work.
it's a good
Yeah.
thing. It's a good thing. If you get bored by your presentation, in the meantime, you have to do something like that. Instagram gives some, time frame for you to, remotivate for your presentation.
Yeah. So I mean, if you
Thank
will
you
have
so much.
any question, then yeah, feel free to ask in message in DM. I would be happy to answer. Not immediately, but at least whenever I will have time, I will answer that question. And yeah, we can have a live session maybe again to discuss particular things
Yes,
or
yes.
questions with Ali. So yeah, good luck, Ali, Dr. Ali, for figuring out the next chapter of your life, post PhD life.
Thank you so much, Dr. Piyush, and all the best for your presentation today.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, good night. Bye.
Bye.